quite a tug of war this week, right? Make a new all-time high yesterday and sell off a little bit, coming right back in a trading range. Is this just quiet before the earnings storm? Next week, we get some banks, big banks, I think starting on Tuesday with JP Morgan. People just settling in, squaring positions ahead of some big earnings reports. We got some movers out there. Don't we always have some wild moves? Well, that's why we're here to cover them for you. 8:35. Tony Pollock, real life trading. You guys love his ticker time, and he loves doing it for you. We might have a special guest. Brent's working hard in the background, so don't want to make any promises. But what I can promise you is a great show on this Friday on Pre-Market Prep.
The volatility right now is really incredible.
Wow, look at that consolidation on the upper right chart.
You know what we've seen this earnings season? Some of these expected moves get even more violent. And this is why I have switched my strategy 10 years ago. And if you're chasing, you're in trouble.
Okay, good morning, traders and investors. We are starting out, in the green? Well, don't we go up at night, every night? Well, what happens during the day is another story. Hanging out right near that all-time closing high in the S&Ps at 88.75. We're up 8.5 handles right there at that level. Well, the buck making a comeback. Good week for the buck. Giving a little bit back today, down 14 cents, 98.14. TLT, trying to get off the mat, but very quiet. No data. We have no data. So how can we talk about interest rates? USO, spending a lot of time here near the low of the move, but that trading range has held since August, down $1.06, 71.05. GLD, you knew it was going to have a red bar one of these days. Well, bouncing back today, up $1.65, 367.08. SLV, what a red bar that was. Down yesterday, up again today, up 77 cents at 45.48. And Bitcoin futures, after making that new all-time high, still up there, up about $600 and 122,200. Triple D, let's bring in Triple D. Triple D, not a great week. I mean, chop and slop. There's been some movers. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the calm before the earnings storm. We didn't really have any earnings this week. We didn't have a lot of information coming out into the market, so it's kind of just a lull. But we know we're going to have, and we're going to preview later on in the show, a pile of earnings starting next week with the banks on Tuesday. We know the banks always kick off earnings season Tuesday, Wednesday with Taiwan Semiconductor, ASML. So we're going to have some tech movers there too. But I think, really, the indecisiveness is what I would say of this market here this week, where you've got, NVIDIA's making new 52-week highs, but then Apple started breaking down. I think it's just more that we're catalyst. Like, we just don't have a lot of catalysts this week. So maybe a lack of catalyst was probably the indecisiveness of this market. Now, that doesn't mean the market's going down. That doesn't mean anything. I think it's just the opposite. The market's rotation has been excellent because even though we've seen some stocks like yesterday, Apple, Microsoft, even Google not having a great day, other stocks picking up the slack, some value names starting to show some life. So definitely rotation station here, but I would expect next week to see a little bit more action with the earnings kicking off.
You know who else we can blame for the lack of catalyst, the lack of action this week? U.S. government.
Trump? Because Trump didn't.
No, I won't put this one on him. U.S. government.
Just the shutdown.
No data.
No data. Yeah.
We probably
and this could go on for a while, folks.
Yeah.
I think this could go on for a while here because we are looking at a standoff here between the Dems, Republicans. I think nobody wants to break here. And I don't think Trump really cares, to be honest with you. He sees it like saving money right now. So, I don't see any real oh my goodness, what are we going to do? The government, shutdown looms on. We do know if it goes on for a long time, it can hit GDP. But hell, we don't get any GDP data anyways. So we wouldn't even know if it hits GDP. So it's a good point. There's just a lack of data, lack of earnings, lack of catalyst. That was this week. It was a lull. But you know what? Earnings season is starting here, so we are going to get some excitement. We did get a couple of earnings last night, if you're counting there, We had LEBI, which is down $1.69. We also had APLD, which was crazy. Applied Digital. Maybe we should go to this one here because this is one of those crazy movers. Brentster, we got to say hi to the Brentster. He's got the Tigers hat on here. We're all wearing Tiger gear, getting ready for tonight's big Game 5 final. Whoever wins gets to play the Jays. Yeah, I know. Rawr. Rawr.
Morning.
Eat 'em up, Dennis, is that the same
Eat 'em
Tiger
up,
shirt you had on
Tigers. Eat 'em up.
yesterday? Is that the same Tiger shirt you had on yesterday, or do you have more than one?
No, I just keep wearing the same shirt all the time. I'm like the most green person. I can wear the same shirt 2-3 days in a row. Like, environmentally friendly. Don't wash that. Just wear it again.
So you wear them until they turn green? Is that
Yeah,
what?
pretty much.
And then,
No, I actually did get washed. My wife's awesome doing laundry. She does it all the time. My son, she does laundry almost every day.
okay.
So I could wear this Tiger shirt and it'll just be washed again tomorrow. She's good. So, okay. We want to go to earnings. Applied Digital. And I always get confused. That's why I want to bring Brentster in, because I always get confused with exactly what this company does. Because I know it's like AI infrastructure or whatever, but I guess we could just say that. But I mean,
I
here's
think we do data center infrastructure. I think that's fair. Chat? No?
29 the last 2 months. So all these smaller data center infrastructure plays have been flying high. And then we dipped last night on the earnings. Get a breakdown here on the earnings if you got it there, Brentster.
Yeah, sure. Earnings, company reported a loss of 3 cents. That was better than the 13-cent loss expected. Sales also beat pretty handily, 64 million. Analysts were under 50 million. The company had a little guidance too. They said that their review of strategic alternatives for its cloud services remains ongoing. They have a path forward to target over $1 billion within the next 5 years in net interest income. But what did the stock do today?
Well, that's interesting. When you talk about $1 billion worth of income here, I mean, that path forward, that's what it needs, because let's be honest here right now. This company, as of today, has $64 million in revenue, has a $7.8 billion market cap. So we need to know that there's a path going forward. So I like, what they're saying, that they're looking, at how to make more money or how to actually make money at all, because obviously the company's still losing money here right now. The stock was down originally, Joel. Like, we went down $3 on this initial report. So again, the news out goes dead wrong. And then we've just turned around and we've rallied all night long. Now we're up at $37, up another 27% here. So they like the idea of eventually looking at $1 billion in profits within the next 5 years. But, right now, there are no profits at all.
Boy, we've been getting a lot of 3, 4, 5, 6 year projections.
Because these companies, you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because these companies are trading at such lofty valuations. These companies are trading at nosebleed. Like, this is 45 times sales right now. Not 45 times earnings, 45 times sales. So the companies know that their stocks are trading so they want to say, hey, look, there's a path here where we could make a lot of money in a few years. So, and that's what the market wants to hear. And that's why it's up. Like, don't kid yourself. It's not the earnings. The stock went initially down. It's because the commentary here. And the commentary helps, and people want to hear. It's like, oh, this makes $1 billion, trading $7 billion on market caps, only trading 7 times earnings. But these are like company, like, shooting goals. Like, these are goals. It doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen. But that's all they've got right now, because profits for most of these companies are a pipe dream right now.
Well, it's exceeding the levels that it hit in 2021 when it had that all-time high at 34.20, and been a long road down and a choppy road back up. This stock was under $5 in April here, now knocking on the door of 37.38. Right now, trading bid at highs of the pre-market session on good volume. Current high 37.84. This is a target. You bought this in 22, 23 target area. Go ahead, take your target. If you think this is just a breakout, start as something big, then let it shake out today. See how it trades today. I mean, a lot of times you see these gap ups and some choppy action, and sometimes it just continues. But right now, the top of yesterday's range is not even a possibility. Well, I will say that everything's a possibility. 29.98. So you'll have your gap up, and then we all know once stocks start to get gaps, they try and work their way into it like Oracle, and then they pop back over 300. AMD is just, man, hard to write the book on that one. It not following the Oracle scenario, but all three companies, what they have in common here is they came out with some long-term projections. So let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, and speaking of Oracle and the moves that it's had, so we'll move away from APLD just for a second here. Oracle is moving up here this morning again, up 7 points. They have their analyst, I guess they call it their analyst day next week. World Day. It actually kicks off on Tuesday and ends on Thursday. So, I mean, I don't know why they call it a day, but it's actually 3 days. We have multiple analysts on Oracle here bumping up the price targets. Evercore bumps their price target up to 350. Citi bumps their price target up to 415. And then we have Bernstein who's commenting, and they're bumping their price target up to 364. I've got some comments from the Bernstein notes if you're following Oracle. Oracle's in the midst of the third major business model transition after already starting a substantial shift of ERP and database to the cloud, followed by OCI's CPU growth, driven by unique data center architecture and IP. Oracle is driving to become the largest AI training vendor, which should position them as the third hyperscaler by revenue and the largest AI training LaaS provider. We look forward to FAM when we expect additional details which should help put some of these issues. So they were talking about some issues because I just skipped ahead. So bottom line here, they're excited about next week's Financial Analyst Day for Oracle. We are as well on Stock Trade Network. We've been talking about this and highlighting it. Oracle, we've also been highlighting as an overnight play because it seems like every morning Oracle goes up and then it goes down during the day. We've been highlighting this trend in the overall market as well. Long overnight, selling at the open, potentially even shorting at the open has been working. Now, Oracle kind of bucked that trend a little bit yesterday, opened up and stayed up. And now we're getting back up over 300. And it starts to look like, a little more productive here. And I mean, we were comparing Oracle to AMD to a certain extent and saying, well, AMD got the big pop, Oracle got the big pop. Does AMD start to leak into it? I kind of thought it might. It didn't. AMD's turned around and started going. I wonder if AMD and NVIDIA's strength isn't driving Oracle here now as well. So as you see NVIDIA making new all-time highs, as you see AMD making new all-time highs, I think that's good news for Oracle here as well because they are moving along with the big AI names now.
And I just want to point out that volume really spiked in Oracle this morning over the last 13 minutes, basically since the stock moved over 300 and then especially over 302. And we know that 300 had been resistance in Oracle. So I feel like a little bit of the interest over the last 10 minutes or so is kind of just a lot of technical stuff. And keep in mind, the data center infrastructure plays like CoreWeave started going as Oracle started going. IREN started going as CoreWeave started going. So there's certainly a domino effect here. A lot of times, in my opinion, at least over the last month or so, started by Oracle.
It's a nice move over 300. Now, I would say that is the key number it needs to hold. I'll probably be trading this into next week and over the weekend because of the Oracle Day, which kicks off Tuesday. And again, the major day for Oracle Day is Thursday, I believe. That's what we have on the calendar.
I have Oracle Cloud World Day as the
I don't even know what the hell.
Like
Analyst Day, World Day, Oracle Week. That's what we're going into.
The
Oracle
13th.
Week. It's never a bad idea to be long a stock going into their week. So this is another catalyst, like an earnings report. Being long, we're catalyst-driven traders over at Stock Trader Network. That we continue to do that. Being long stocks ahead of earnings, ahead of events, ahead of catalyst-driven things. That's just this money to be made there. And if you're long Oracle right now, ahead of next week's Analyst Day, you're pretty happy about it.
If you want to target here, $4 higher, you're not happy with where it's trading now. 308. 23 is a 30. This is called 308 is halfway back of this retracement. Didn't quite get to the 50-day. And you do have a daily high. The daily high is right above that. We'll see if it can just keep on going. I think a lot of times when you see moves like this, people that weren't in on this move and they weren't in on this move, but they just kind of like been building a position here, ahead of the gap fill. It might be a ring to register moment. I don't know where the open interest is in the 300 puts and calls. I don't know. That could be the pin for today. So I would keep an eye on that with the options activity for Oracle. And so here's a question for the chat. Here's a question for you. What about what if they mention, what other companies are they going to mention helping them out? At
the Oracle week.
Well, there you go too.
A lot, I bet.
Yeah. Now again, Oracle is not NVIDIA. So if it's NVIDIA week and they mention any other companies, they go. Can Oracle move other little companies? There's smaller companies and they name them, yes. Bigger companies, they're going to say working along with NVIDIA and AMD and all the other ones, and they're not going to move off that. But if there's smaller companies, just like we were joking with the NVIDIA, with Jensen Huang on CNBC the other day, basically complaining that, hey, when we mention that we're working with a company, their stock explodes. When somebody else mentions that they're working with us, we maybe go down or don't even move at all. But we're the driver of price. And he's right. I mean,
well, we got a good news out of him. He is looking for a 4-day work week because of AI. So
is that what he said?
Yeah, we're eventually going to a 4-day work week.
Elon Musk would not be happy with that.
So we only have to cover the markets, 4 days, Monday,
4 days a week. Okay,
Monday
so we could
Thursday.
just take Fridays off.
Yeah.
Yes.
Enjoy ourselves. Get ready for
Make Fridays great again.
Make Fridays great again. That doesn't have a good ring to it though. Mega Mafuga.
Okay. Never mind. We'll think of something better.
Didn't work. A lot of people talking about NKLR today, which GSRT has officially converted to NKLR. If your brokerage has screwed this up, this is par for the course because they always screw these things up. I know IB is struggling with the conversion over. So basically, when you're converting over symbols, it goes to reorg, it's called, within your brokerage. They have to take the old shares out, put the new shares in. A lot of that stuff is done manually. So it is 8:17 in the morning. So, I know it is trading. NKLR is trading here this morning. It is down. Well, it's hard to tell what's down. If look at GSRT, it's down slightly here this morning from where it went out. But it's difficult here for a lot of people to trade this morning if you held to the conversion. I am long this as well. We bought it in the last, I've added to it in the last week. I've been in it for quite a while here now. So it's had a good run up into the conversion. This is a nuclear name. A lot of comparisons have made this name to NNE. So we'll see what happens here, but a little bit of muted volume this morning, probably because a lot of people can't even trade it because it's one, maybe not in their system, or two, it's just simply not converted over yet. So those bugs will probably come out, over the rest of today, depending on your brokerage. It could end up being Monday before you get these shares too. We've seen this happen before.
Do you know where it went on the 4 o'clock open?
Like 16. Where did it go?
20.
Did it hit 20?
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my target.
I know.
That was my target. I gave a target of 20.
Hit your target.
It hit it. I should have got out. But you know what?
Dennis,
BMO didn't even have my shares in there either. So
yeah.
Good luck trading that thing. I mean, at IBKR, if you have it there, it's not converting it either. So, which makes it confusing and tough to do. So, I mean, that's another thing, moving up there. There's not a lot of people that can sell it when they don't own it. So, when it's not in their account.
I got the press release.
That was my target.
I got the press release here in front of me, and Dennis, there's not much in the press release. You kind of wrapped it up. It's basically just, hey, the stocks that NKLR is trading. Two things though that I did want to mention. They're not super substantial, but just kind of interesting. Terra Innovatum is going to be ringing the opening bell on October 17th, the NYSE opening bell.
Oh my
Kind of cool. GSRT's co-CEO gave the last quote. There was quotes from 4 execs in the GSRT press release. The co-CEO and director of GSRT gave the last quote, and the very last line of his quote, which concludes the whole press release, is, "Now it's time to go nuclear, NKLR."
Nice.
Exclamation point. They're excited.
I mean,
They're excited.
Really cool ticker symbol. That's what we like about it too. It's had a nice run up into it. I know there were some people in the STN room. Some people were taking profits because a bunch of us were in this. Some people were holding it through. I held it through. I don't know. We'll see what happens with these. It's in stock, so it can go either way. But one thing I will say, it's a pretty sexy ticker symbol, and it's obviously an industry that's really, and if you compare valuation wise, I mean, NKLR is pennies on the dollar compared to some of these other ones here. So I'm holding on to it. I think it's got potential.
All right, we will we'll be standing by for that opening. It should be some. Right now, I'm seeing a 1480, but that could just be, well, went out yesterday at 1552, so should be a fun one in nuclear. Let's go nuclear. Let's go. Should we skip Argentina? Does anybody care about us giving 20 billion? No one cares.
No, not in zero zilch. ESTC.
Yep. Go. Let's go there.
This stock's been moving here too, Elastic, and it's flying this morning. They raised guidance, and they increased their buyback by another 500 million, and the stock is moving up substantially here. I don't know much about this company either. I trade it every once in a while here. It's up 11% this morning, but I tell you, it is a wild child, so it does move. Dips again, I guess, just this industry here, everything that's, anything techie just seems to just explode, when it gets any type of headline and buy back and raise guidance. That'll do it.
This is the accordion chart here. Look at this. Woo. And I don't think there's any technicals that I could have given you. Maybe looking at this yesterday, I'd say, wow, it's breaking above the 50-day, but that doesn't do you any good right now. You're up over $90, 91.50, just pressing at the pre-market high. So I'll look at a cluster of highs just above that. And that comes in from, where are all these highs here? Comes in from late May. And you just had a bunch of highs from, let's just call it 93 to 94. So if you're looking for more, just take 92. Look at that 93 to 94 area. You did have 1, 2, 3, 4 daily highs in that area. And that was just after it spiked up in the higher 94 handle. So there's some levels for you there. Where to buy it? Wow, if it ever came back down to that 50-day, well, that would be nice at the top of yesterday's range. But that doesn't look like a possibility right now.
The play has just been to buy the dips on, all these techie names. And, you got a dip here, went from 80 to 92 or 93 back in August, then dip back down. Now, the one thing I would say is you got major resistance up to that 94. So, we'll go through that and look there. Also, there's lots of little individual stories here. I know Rocket Lab's got another contract. It looks like here it's moving higher. Let's do a quick technical on RKLB because the stock, does offerings and just goes up anyways. And this stock is just continuing to move and continuing to rocket higher here. At one point in time, I had this in my long-term portfolio. I think it's $7. And I sold it at like 16. And I was like, that was a great trade. I look at it at 70 and I was like, I'm an idiot. It's funny how bull markets will make you feel dumb for selling.
I'm not going to give you resistance because this is breaking out to new all-time highs, but you can mark the pre-market high as a potential level. Actually just fell off a little bit. But if it comes back down, I like to see what happens at 68.50. Those were the highs from the last two sessions. So there's your support. Your support is its former all-time high. Double top as we look at it trading at $70.
SCRV. News from yesterday was, it was popping up. I can't remember the news. I'm sure it was some AI.
DoorDash.
Oh, it's DoorDash. That's right. Serve Robotics. Well, you know what they do? They get these pop-ups here and these companies that are burning cash left, right, center. I was like, what a great time to do an offering. So, giving back most of its gains from yesterday because they did a $100 million stock sale via direct offering, 6.25 million shares to raise funds for operations. Yeah, because all these companies make money. So they pop up, they do offerings. Now, we've seen, though, like from time to time again, these offerings get bought. So you get the price acts like a floor, and then eventually they start to move higher there. So I think, same story probably applies here. Serve Robotics. The robots we looked at yesterday, they look kind of cool driving down the street and stuff. I don't know if it's going to beat Tesla or anything like that, but, it's something. Probably same thing. Dips are just getting bought.
They can buy a lot of wagons with that money that they have. That's because that's what that thing looked at. I remember seeing those moving around Ann Arbor a while ago, and I wish I could find it. I'm not the one that keeps stuff on my phone forever, but when we went to my niece's graduation at Indiana University, and this had to be pre-COVID. Definitely. It was definitely pre-COVID, maybe 16, 17, 18. At the hotel that we were staying at had a robot in the lobby. And if you wanted towels, the robot would like bring it up to you. And I can remember my sister and I were like, all right, let's just see if robot can find us. And then we do that. We were out there taping it. They come in and it came and it delivered. So it's been, and I'd say 2016, maybe 2017. So delivery robots, they didn't look very impressive to me. Maybe for big cities. I'd love to see one of those things on the San Francisco hills. But it had a big move yesterday. It had the follow through. You got the offering. And once again, we'll stick these offerings have been, who did the one at 1685 yesterday?
Joby.
Joby?
Yeah, it's bounced off it too. We went through it a little bit. Got down 1648. It's bouncing now though.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard to bet against robotics companies here right now. Like, that theme is just not going to go away. So you try to think about like all the themes that we've went through over the years of doing this show. And there's certain themes, and we've been talking AI. Physical AI is going to be the thing that people are going to be talking about in the coming years, like physical AI robots, stuff like that, So I think like this is in a sexy industry right now. So you get dips on stuff like this, probably good. We've been in that rich tech robotics, which is a really little one, RR. I've sold it recently because it's had a pretty good pop-up. I got like 150% on that thing, in a couple of months. So maybe a few months because I was in it before. But I just think this theme is just not going away. So think about like, that's the one thing when you're trading or long-term investing or like long-term trading, if you want to call it. Like think about themes that are coming, themes that aren't going away. I mean, that's what continues to drive the bus. Now, again, if you get a valuation collapse where everybody thinks everything's overvalued, that can end in a hurry. But, we adjust for rug pulls, in the overall market. But right now, like you're coming to the end of the year, you have a lot of things going on, and physical AI is going to be a thing. So I'm not going to bet against SERV. I'm not in it, but I'm not going to bet against it either.
Dennis, do you have a couple other things off the top of your head, that themes that aren't going away, real quick, just to ask the obvious question?
Well, energy needs are not going to go away. So and again, this is where a lot of people are invested in all these things. And this is social media, you can go into social media and see all this stuff too. It's a question of like, when is all this stuff overvalued and priced it all in? I mean, that's the question that is hard to answer. Like, I think nobody knows like when it's all priced in. I mean, you look at Tesla in itself, which is literally the company, like Tesla will be the physical AI company. Like it's the obvious one that's going to have more physical AI maybe than anybody, with humanoids, with self-driving cars, which is really just physical AI as well. When the car can drive itself, it's physical AI. So so if you don't know what AI, AI is obviously right now ChatGPT, it's here, but it's not walking around and moving and doing things. Physical AI is physical activity, like artificial intelligence moving. That's driving cars, self-driving cars. That is humanoids. That is whatever else you can envision. But there's going to be lots of other things like serve robotics, with these serving things like that. That's what we're talking about. I think that theme doesn't go away. The energy needs doesn't go away. It's why we've been on the solar trade. We keep talking about nuclear. I mean, the one sustainable source of energy is solar. The sun is not going away. If it goes away, it ain't going to matter for any of us. So, I mean, I think, you see a stock like First Solar and continue to explode higher, which I'm long. I think it's hard to bet against this theme, like of energy needs. Like, sure, maybe Trump doesn't like, that we're subsidizing some of these companies here, but holy crap. I mean, there's energy needs coming from everywhere here, and those energy needs are not going to go away. They're only going to increase.
XLU at all-time high too. I mean,
and you got to consider like energy needs to utility stocks that are providing, like hydro to your house. Is that the same thing? I mean, not really. So you got to look like as a Southern company, the same thing as a nuclear company. Not really. Is there some overlap in businesses? Sure. But I mean, I just don't think those themes are going away. Now, the question is there dips to buy? Is there going to be crashes in some of these stocks? For sure. I mean, when an OCLO goes from 60 to 138 a month, there's going to be pullbacks. There's going to be dips. Well, we kind of lined that one up, 138. We said if you want to take a shot down at 110, we got support, clear support down at 108. What's happened? It's went back up. So I think what you do is when we're trading these, and we've been teaching this in the Stock Trader Network, is when you get these dips, don't try to be a hero and buy on the way down. Wait till they stop going down and then start showing a little bit of life. Buy, what Brian Shannon says. Hi, Brian. He always says, buy the strength after the dip. That's the way you do it. Brian Shannon's been an awesome trader for a long time. We've obviously had him on pre-market prep multiple times, which get him back soon. But that's just a great quote. Buy the strength after the dip.
Good call on that 138 there, Aklo. A little bit flat today. I'll tell you right now, your new level is 130. Look at that. I mean, bulls have full control here until you breach that 130. I mean, you broke out from it, you came back to it, then a little bad action here. I'm not sure why I dropped that much that day. Then right back up, and the bulls congregating here, 130 in Aklo.
4 minutes. Tony is in the background. We could go grab Tony here if he's ready. Give us a thumbs up, Tony. He looks like he's just getting ready. Oh, he's ready. Tony's always ready. Let's run that intro here, Brentster, and we'll get Tony Pollock on a few minutes early.
Sweet.
Is it gas?
Laughing already. Tony Pollock, owner of Real Life Trading. Let's get the most important information out of you first. How you sleeping?
Last night was great. Night before, not so much. But hey, they're teasing us. They're at that phase where the babies are teasing us, like we can do this, and then they're like next night, like we can't do this, and so we're in that phase.
What about fit? Is it the feeding? Now you got two of them. Do you go like you're a big guy? Do you have a thing where like a bottle holder? What do they have now?
So we have these like double pillows. You stick them in, you hold the bottle, and just they eat. Yeah, so that's our method right now.
Spencer, our former host, Dennis is gonna get mad. He had a diaper tracker, so he to see how many he went through, and wow, you must be in a fast market on that. But let's go to the markets here, Tony. Kind of choppy this week, right? No clear. I mean, we made a new all-time high. We had a little dip, or we're a little bit up on the week. So I would imagine on a week like this, selling those credit spreads way out of the money and just watching the premium collapse. Was that the call this week, or did you have some different strategies?
Nope, that was it. Simple. Monday, sold the bull put spread, won on it Tuesday. It was pretty much that was the week. So been done, goal hit, and just been watching the markets ever since. I haven't really done a whole lot of anything else. I've been chilling, taking care of babies. So this week was extremely simple. So that was good. Yeah, that's no need to make trading harder than it needs to be. You can choose to make trading hard or make it easy. I choose easy and just click a button, hit my goal, be done, and then don't overcomplicate it. That's like what I'm trying to get my community to like. They're like, now what? I'm like, do nothing till Monday.
Yeah, do that. You know what? I did forget, and I'll let Dennis go. What are the kids' names? If you want to reveal. If not, that's okay too.
Chloe and Capri.
Oh, those are awesome names.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Tony, love having you. Love obviously the baby talk and stuff too, but we love the stock talk from you as well. And we want to do some ticker time with Tony. Yeah. Tony, if you get your charts up there, because you do a great job showing the charts as well. We love running through tickers with Tony here. Yeah. The first one I can set you up is going to be ALAB. So when you're bringing up your system, get ready, because we have multiple people. Ben and Wellbeing Warrior both want to know about ALABs. So we might as well jump in there right away with ticker time with Tony. He's going to get a screen up here for a second.
Let's do it. All right. So I'll clean this thing up. So throw them at me. Let's do it.
Okay. Oh, there we go. So ALAB, first ticker, Astera Labs.
ALAB?
Yep. All
right. This is a stock that I don't think I've ever looked at. I don't think there's a trend line on this stock. So, I like it. It is currently making a higher low in this range. Sorry, I forgot this pen. I always do this. I should have been more prepared. This is a really nice buying spot. It's where the bulls should have come through, and they did. So to me, there's a very high chance it's going to get to 270 again. It's just when, but I'm leaning a lot more bullish than anything on this. Once it gets to that 270 mark, then it's like, who knows? But for right now, I think that's where the markets are going to try to get to. And it's looking really good. If it starts to get below that 185 level, we could have issues. But as long as 185 holds, that's where this market's going to try to get to, is what it looks like to me.
Patrick wants to know about Snapchat, SNAP.
Snap. Let's go. So consolidation, this thing, it's working on a trap. So like for me, I love this line in the sand from the bulls. And then I want to see the bears step through and then just get hammered. It's trying so hard to do that. We had a trap, it tried to run, and then it gave it straight back. And now it's attempting it again. Once a trap fails, I don't trust the second trap. And so for me now, it's like, okay, if the bulls are going to be here, get me above $10. If we're above $10, let's play this thing. It's going to run. If not, and this low gets taken out one more time, there is a chance that we're going to come back to this previous level here and then see if we get any more type of traps coming through. But that's what I'd be looking at now, is like, this should have already run. It failed. So yes, we've got another trap going on. I don't trust it because the first one failed. And trap should be a very quick sentiment, right? It should be like this, where you get this trap and then it just goes and that low holds. Well, we've already given up that low pretty quick. So that's where I'm at on this one. It's going to be a lot more chop. Even if this thing does break out, I would probably guess that it's not going to get much higher than $15 to $18 over the next few years. So I'm not sure we'll get another one of those runners. Maybe. There's always a problem. You can't ever say never, but it's probability wise, I think it's going to take a little bit more time.
Not in love with this one. Okay, CP Free wants to know about Uber, UBER.
Uber. Yeah. So with Uber. So Uber is up into a pretty big profit taking area. And over the last few weeks, it has thrown in upper wick, pullback, ran page back up this week, and then threw in another upper wick. So the levels have not.
What do you mean by upper wick? Talk about this. Just break this down. So give us a little education to Tony's technical analysis.
Let's go. So whenever we claim these new grounds, you want to see strong closures. That's telling me that buyers are still running in and that FOMO still there. Whenever it runs up and then just gets whooped, that's the big money selling into all of the running up, right? If you want to get out of a big position, you need millions and millions of people to sell it to. You can't just hit sell. Right. So how do you get out? You get a lot of people buying in, and as they're buying in, you're selling to everybody. And then it causes just a lot of, this trap, this blow off top is another word for it. So on this weekly chart, it looked super good. I mean, bulls are like, we're going to town. And then they gave it all the way back up. And then it started to push back lower. And then the bulls came back in, and then it ran up again. They're like, this is going higher. And then it rinse and repeat. It just is struggling here. So multiple upper wicks on a weekly chart in a row usually is a pretty good sign that things are about to reverse back down. So will it? I don't know. It's too early to tell because we're back into the bull zone again. So let's see if the bulls will step back in. But this is an early warning sign. The markets will always give you early warnings that something could be coming around the corner. Again, it's not a guarantee, but the probabilities now are starting to stack that this could be going a little bit further down. On a monthly chart, it's doing the exact same thing. All these upper wicks, after a huge run up, it makes sense that we get a little bit of a dip and pull back through. So it's possible that we go back into like 87 to even 77 would be a great buy. I love 77 for a purchase, but this is all big picture, right? Big time frame. It's not going to happen next week, but so far not getting the strength out of here that we would want to see, because if we were to close strong like this, that opens the door now for dips to get bought for it to continue. We're not closing strong. So now the buy the dippers are a little bit spooked. They still might come through, but it's a lower probability play.
Mr. Great 80s band wants to know Oklo, OKLO, and this stock, everybody's been trading this stock as a late nuclear play. They got no revenue. It doesn't matter. The stock seems to go up every day here anyways. It's been exploding higher here, Tony. Well, how do you trade something like this?
Yeah. For me, I look at this and I see really hard trading. Yes, it's bullish, but it's extended. So if we're going to get in up here, our risk reward is tough, because at any point they're going to pull the rug and it's going to do this again, because this area is where the buyers are all sitting. And so it's probably going to have to work its way back to that area to really get going. At the exact same time, it's strong and it can keep on running another 100%. So you're kind of stuck between the two scenarios. What I will do in this scenario is I'll start playing on multiple different time frames and start zooming in a lot more. So on a daily time frame, it's still looking good, but we've got to get a daily close up above 150 for me to trust that this is going to continue. So if I were personally in this trade, let's say we bought this thing back here or something, I would still be in this trade, but I'd be looking at this going, I need to close above this over the next week, or I'm going to start trimming profits off. And at any point, if we start getting back below 110, I'm out. So that's how I would start to look at this. And then you can even zoom in on a smaller time frame too and look at this hourly play and go, it still looks good on an hour. I do think that it wants to pull its way back into 146, but then it's back into the let's make some new ground. Let's actually get some strong closures like we were doing over here. And then I think there's a chance it continues. And that's how I use price action to kind of trail my stop. People are like, do you trail your stop with like a percentage? I was like, no, I trail my stop off of price action. The early warning flags that I've been talking about this morning are how I'm knowing I'm going to start trimming some shares off here, or I'm going to start adding in more here, or whatever, right? The charts are telling me at these testing levels what to do and getting out before things just dump, or holding for an extra win, because a lot of people are like, I get out and then it runs for another 10%. There's always that chance, right? But you're going to get an early warning flag pretty much every single time from price action, because price action and volume are the only two leading indicators. It's going to let you know with high surety that this is what it's trying to do. And of course, news can come through. You can get a strong close and then tomorrow gap down to here. There's no surety in the markets. And that's why you can't just load your entire trading account, but like, it's for sure going up because it closed strong. Well, it's percentage, right? Probabilities. It's 60% now instead of 50. And that's how I like to look at it. So this one is a tough one. I think it's going to have a lot more chop in it. I do believe that it wants to go higher, but it's also going to start shaking a lot more people out. So if you had stop losses in here, expect them to get hunted and then it going. It's hard to make money when you're late to the rally. Down here is easier because you're just riding this thing up. If you bought this thing here, you can just have your stop here and let it stop everybody out and you're still winning. Everyone that's chasing it through here is going to lose 3 or 4 or 5 times trying to catch the big move when the big move's already come and they're not sure that the big move is going to happen again.
Great analysis. Annie wants to know about Baba. I want to know about Baba too. Still long. It's been a fantastic run. It's been a fantastic year for China stocks here.
Yeah.
We've recently broken down, though. Is this cause for concern or is this just a healthy pullback? What's Tony thinking about Alibaba?
Yeah, I think this is a healthy pullback. I think this is still just fine. It's extended. And whenever you see, again, same scenario, we're in the area where this thing is super strong and it can keep on going, but we're at a place where people are taking their profits. We know that everyone else is trying to chase this now because it doesn't show up on people's radar till it's about right here, right? Once a stock goes up 50% or something, they're like, oh, now I trade it. And that's where people get beat up in the chop and then just finally lose. So we're at that phase now where trading's hard. Trading is much easier down here. This is tough. So I personally sit out on these. I'm like, you know what? Let's let it come back down into the easy zone again. And then it doesn't mean that you're not going to lose down here, but it's a lot easier to see this is where bulls should be at. Are they coming in? Because this is not where bulls should be at, but they could still come in. This is where profit taking is happening, but it's still extremely strong. So it could still run. For me, it's, again, don't make trading harder than it needs to be. Most people fail in trading because they keep trading the hard when they need to understand where the easier trade's at, but the easier requires patience. And that's harder to have than losing money. People would rather lose money than to not trade. And you've got to kind of flip that script and start waiting and you'll start making money. So I love this one. I think this is a buy the dip. I would start looking at 160 all the way down to 130. This whole box is a buy the dip. So looking for bulls to come through. And I think we push back higher again in the future. It's just when. And it can keep on running, by the way. It's just, again, it's tough. It's tough to play up here. So that's what I got on this one.
Alex wants to know about AFRM, AFRM.
AFRM. Yeah, so this is not bad. I do like the fact that we hung out above this testing level for quite a few weeks, closed pretty strong. The engulfing bear candle, not fantastic. Usually on weekly charts, if you get an engulfing bull candle at a new high, it will open the door for some selling. It's pretty consistent. So like if you come back here, engulfing bear candle, sell, engulfing bear candle, sell. It's not a for sure. Remember, there's no guarantees. It's all probabilities. Well, we just put that in here. So don't be shocked if this continues to pull back. I would think that like $50, $52, somewhere in here would be where some bulls will find some support. But at the exact same time, this also is a pretty good buying area. Like this is where I need to go to different time frames. I don't see excitement from the bulls here on a daily. Are we getting anything on an hourly? Not really. So when I want to see excitement, I want to see the opposite of what I was just talking here. I want to see the bottom. I want to see engulfing big bull candles. I want to see traps where bears step through and then immediately get whipped. Bears step through, but then the bulls have not followed through. They've bounced, but we've gotten stuck. We don't want to see that. We want to see just like this, bear step through and then bulls just step in hard. Little things like that. And that's just 2 out of like 20 things that I look for. But this is not showing me crazy bull excitement yet. So I would start looking at above like 80. If we start getting above 80 and above this little open gap here on an hourly, then yeah, maybe there is a chance this is going to run because it is added. It's pulled back. It's at a bull area, but there's a little bit of warning flags out here that might be holding some of these bulls here that are causing them not to step in as heavy as they normally would. So that's kind of what I've got on this one. And it's not done running. I mean, this could go. We could be pushing back into like 140. It's just when, but this is a big testing ground. If we could make a higher low here and start cranking back up, the probabilities of 140, 150 now are a lot higher.
All right, Tony, before we let you go,
okay,
everyone likes to try and call the top in the market, right?
Yeah.
And there never is one, right?
Yeah.
But people have different ways of gauging, when there might be a severe correction. It certainly didn't happen after Quad Witch. All different ways. But you have something that you're looking at right now. You're not ready to, to like totally bail out on this bull market and continue to make new all-time highs. But you're seeing something in the SPY options.
Yeah.
That just, a little bit critical here. Talk about what you're seeing and then what you're looking for afterwards. Perhaps get a confirmation this market's in for a little bit of a breather.
Yeah. Here is all strikes stacked together on one chart. This includes the day trading strikes all the way out. So it's all of the options, open interest stacked on top of themselves. Okay. And one chart. I am seeing something here. Again, you probably can't see my pen here, but I'm seeing something here at 675 that stands out like crazy. 675 is a line in the sand that these option makers are putting out there. And I haven't seen an option volume out there like this in a long time. So whenever markets are cranking and we're pushing into a new all-time high and things look super strong and it's crazy bullish and we're very extended, and then I start seeing option levels stick out like this, I start paying attention. So it doesn't mean it has to call the top, but it's an area to be able to watch sentiment. If we get into 675 on SPY and things start to reverse hard, there is a chance that this was target for most big money players. And so this is one little tip that I use a lot to kind of help me get an idea of sentiment up here. And that sentiment's going to help me then see where the momentum is gaining or lacking for the bulls. And then it might help call the top, so to say. This is for SPY.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is one little thing that I'm looking at. And there is a chance. I mean, we also have high yields tanking when the markets are still going up. That's also another early warning flag that something could be up. I trust those high yield bond traders more than I trust equities. So yeah, it is definitely something to keep an eye out for. I haven't seen options stacked like that in a while. So it's that 675. If we get there, watch that reaction, see what happens.
By stacked, you just see huge open interest there?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Tony, we got 2 more for you here, and then we're going to let you go. We're going to start. Susan wants Oracle, and Dennis wants Oracle too. I want to know your thoughts on Oracle because
is that
this
one or is
a
that
little
2?
bit confusing. That's one symbol, Oracle.
Okay, you got it. Let me pull this.
Oh, we lost your charts.
Here, I got it. You got it.
Okay,
so on Oracle, ORCL. Okay. All right. Let's find out where we're at on this thing. So to me, this looks bullish. It looks really bullish. I would have liked a little bit more of a pullback, but back into a 10 on a weekly, it's like it's hard to go wrong on that in a very strong trending stock. If we even go out a little bit more, yeah, I mean, this is good. I do think we're getting close. If you're hoping for, what is this move here? How big of a move has this been?
Huge.
100, 150, 130. If we're hoping for another 100%, oops, sorry. If you're hoping for another 100% on this, it might be a little disappointing, but could we be pushing into 350 to 400? Yeah, I like it. I think it's really good. And especially, again, if we're watching for traps and momentum, this trap here on a daily was fantastic. Took out that low. Buyers, we know the buyers are here. Again, people are trying to short all of this, but you got to see the big picture and understand where the buyers are at. This area, all of this area is a buying area. This is a selling area. And so when you put in a trap like that off of that low and we're getting follow through on it, you see the follow through, the excitement coming through from the bulls, immediate bouncing, immediate taking of levels of the bears. So these were all the bears defended levels here and then pushed down hard. And now we've closed above it, gapping above it. Today actually could be a pretty decent day trade, bullish, to go back up into like 316, 310 is kind of what I'd be looking at for today. But lots of bull momentum here is what I'm seeing.
Last one. Real Deal wants to know Tesla. We got to talk Tesla. It's not a show if we don't talk Tesla. TSLA. Stock trading up $1 in the pre-market here. What's Tony's technical analysis on Tesla?
Yeah, we had a huge winner. Tesla always prints. It did the exact same thing for me last year at this time last year over here. But we bought this thing and then it tanked and we just held in it. And then we finally got out. So I got out on this big gap up because this was my target area.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tesla's over with yet. The hard part for me, the reason why I went ahead and closed out of it, first off, it was on options. I still had another 2 or 3 months left on it. So I had plenty of time, but time is against me. But the next thing is earnings. Whenever Tesla runs like this historically, and then we get earnings during this run, it tends to reverse. It's not very often that earnings continues a run. Now, it can do whatever the heck it wants to do. But whenever Tesla has earnings after a buying area, into a buying area, that opens the door for runs, is what I've seen. Whenever Tesla goes berserk and then we get earnings, it's hard to sustain after a 150% move up. Earnings need to be crazy. And so for me, I took that into account and it's like, well, there could be some issues there. I still believe that this is a buyable dip no matter what. Even if Tesla comes back into like 360 to 320, it's still a buy in my opinion. And I would not be shocked at all if before earnings, Tesla pushes into 500. So I am very bullish on Tesla. I made enough on that. I was happy with that. And there's not a whole lot of time. And so I took my profits on that. If I was in shares on this, there's a good chance I would have taken some, but then just been holding. So, and then do a caller on it, sell some calls against this, use that money to buy some puts. That way you're covered just in case it does tank over earnings. But if it bounces, you're going to make even more money. So that's how I would have played it if I had shares. But still bullish, still looks good. And I still think that Tesla's going to probably run higher going into earnings. But just be careful over earnings. Historically, what Tesla struggles with after these big runs are earnings.
Tony Pollock, owner of Real Life Trading, proud father of 2 twin girls. You'll have to get them on the show soon.
Yeah.
Tony, always a pleasure getting your fundamental technical
Killed it.
insight into the markets. I love ticker times. We love having you on, and I know it's early for you out there, but always appreciate it. Tony Pollock,
Thanks, guys.
Real Life Trading.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony.
Folks, I want to give a nice shout out to our wonderful sponsor, the Detroit Tigers. Nope, I'm just joking. Hive is our sponsor. Hive Digital Technology. This show is brought to you by Hive, a global leader in green powered. Oh, let me get the overlay up there.
Yeah, I
There
want to
she
scan.
is. There she is. And
I'm
you
ready
can,
to scan.
yeah, pull up the chart if you want to while I'm reading away here.
Sure.
Hive is a global leader in green power data centers for Bitcoin mining, high performance computing, and AI, operating with nearly 0.5 gigawatt of renewable energy. Hive is on track to capture 3% of the world's Bitcoin production by the end of this year. If you want to learn more about Hive, there is a QR code in the bottom right corner. You can scan that, or there is a link in the description of this YouTube video. Click over there if you do want to learn more about Hive. Thanks again to our wonderful sponsor, Hive Digital Technologies.
$7.22 this morning. The stock is been on fire. Wow, that's a huge move for Hive. Frank Holmes, when do we got Frank? Frank coming back on soon.
16.
16?
That
week.
is next Thursday. Yes.
Next Thursday, we're going to
Yeah, I
have
think-
the
I think
CEO of High Blockchain, Frank Holmes, on next week. And yeah, so good stuff. Y'all talking IONQ. This is what they do. They run up and then they drop offerings because you know why? Because they need money. Now, this is not a full offering for IONQ. This is a shelf. The difference between a shelf and an offering is, well, no, actually, it looks like they are actually pricing it now. So they have a full-on $2 billion. Raises $2 billion in equity.
It says, I see 16.5 million shares at 93. Do you see that too, Dennis?
Yeah. What is this? Oh, pre-funded warrants. They're pricing the warrants because the warrants go higher because the warrants like a call option. So they're giving people warrants to buy the stock at 93. Still dilutive. Offer includes 7-year warrants with a purchase an additional 43 million, exercise price of 155. So basically, when you get a stock offering, they price below. When you get warrants, they price above because it's like giving people options. It's basically warrants like an option. So that's why they price above. So, but IONQ, either way, it's dilutive. Either way, that's not good for earnings, but they don't make earnings anyway, so the dip probably gets bought.
Dennis, as far as I can tell from this filing, this was the shelf that was registered on February 26, 2025.
Okay.
Cool.
So this shelf is already in now. We've got the actual offering with the warrants here.
Yep.
So you know what? I mean, we've seen a lot of like skepticism with IONQ and the quantum names. I love the story. I love the theme. I have supported the story and the theme. We know I'm long it through IBM because I feel like it's a safer way to play it. But man, you can't argue with the stock performances of these things. The dips are getting bought. We've seen QUBT multiple times have offerings, and they just buy it right back. QBTS, you know, we've seen even over the weekend, last weekend, when it looked like all their headquarters were, you know, straight out of boiler room. It didn't matter. The stocks get bought. I mean, the stories are just sexy. The quantum story is sexy. I think it could be real one day as well. Like, I do think the technology could be real. I just don't know how far it's out. I don't know how long the market's going to wait, but the market is hot for the story right now. The story is hot, 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 hot.
You already got the bounce. If you were waiting for the 2-day low of 1760, you missed it. Pre-market low at 73 even. If you were just waiting for yesterday's low, then you got 2 sticks in it. Yesterday's low, 73.65. You would have gotten filled there for right now. I mean, when you get a down move, reversals in this we know are very commonplace, but I'm sure some people wouldn't mind seeing that mark at 77.50. That's $2 away, and that nestled up at right with yesterday's high at 78 even. All-time closing high just above that at 78.99.
All right, folks, a little special programming announcement here. On Monday, we are going to have Terra Innovatum's Chief Business Development Officer and Investor Relations Head, Gio Morici, on for a little interview. He's slotted for a late market prep interview. Right now, we're going to have him on the books for 8:50. I'm still waiting for like an official, very formal confirmation, but looks like we are going to have Gio from NKLR on the show for a little interview. One of the first on the street with our new NKLR investor relations and head of business development.
Yeah, I'm long and I'm very curious to what he has to say because, you know, this is obviously a nuclear name. It's got a really cool ticker symbol. Let's see if it's got a really cool business. Like, let's find out more about this business. So we had Brentster reach out yesterday, see if they do want to come on. They're just trying to schedule. We tried to get it for today, but it's too short a notice. So it sounds like Monday, tentatively set for 8:50. We're going to get NKLR exec on, talk this company. Like, tell me about Terra Innovatum. Tell me about what you're doing over there. Tell me if I want to be a long-term investor here or if this is just a trade. That's going to be determined, you know, on what this guy says as well. So I'm very interested in NKLR.
Right, that would be Monday. Our regular guest. Guess who we got at 8:25 on Monday? One of our favorites. He's
that?
not
One of
only
our
a
favorites.
good trader, but a very funny guy. And that should be the only hint I need to give you. A good trader, a great comedian. I hate guessing games.
Why? I hate it. You do it to me all the time. You
Listen,
put me
I
on
told
the
you, I
spot.
love you
try to me to-
softballs. I've been doing this for 10 years. I love you softballs, and you just keep
I
missing.
suck at this. I've sucked at this
All
my
right, Brent,
whole life.
Brent,
I have literally,
Brent.
like, they play guessing games and I can't
Brent,
do it.
Who's
Dave
that?
Keener got it. Thank you, Dave Keener. You're the man.
Yes,
You already
Dave-
knew that.
Is
Yes.
it Kenny?
Yes.
Of course
The
it's
Warlock.
Kenny. Of course it's Kenny.
Yes.
have
And the
the-
market
Yeah.
The market
Kenny
is
click.
open. The market is open on Monday, folks. It is Columbus Day in the US. There are some banks closed, but the stock market is going to be open. I feel like there's been some confusion on that, so just want to clear that up right here, right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a Canadian holiday. It's Thanksgiving. So that means my nuclear stock probably won't show up in my Bank of Montreal.
Oh my
long-term
gosh,
account
no,
on
Dennis.
Tuesday. They don't have it in there today. There's probably no way they're getting in there over the weekend with a long weekend. I'm probably looking at Tuesday before I can even trade this thing in my long-term account. I put some in there because, I'm a believer there. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing I can't trade out of it.
Is it still called Columbus Day? Have we come up for a new name with it, or is it still called?
Oh,
Columbus?
you think Trump's going to change to Trump Day?
I don't.
I don't think so.
Google
I
says
think Columbus is going to stay.
Google says it's still called
1492.
Columbus Day,
Columbus
Joel.
sailed the ocean
The
blue.
ocean blue. Yep.
That's it. Okay. 901. We're going to continue the conversation over at Stock Trader Network. We've got ideas. We've got stocks. Come on and join us. Try your free trial. Anytime you want, we're over there. STN, StockTraderNetwork.com. Let's go.
Have a great